Hello, everyone. Welcome to Crypto College. My name is Sean. Let's give it about a minute or so as people are still coming in. Let them all join the webinar. So we're going to wait for about a minute. In the meantime, if you could grab pen and paper, that will come in real handy because you'll be taking a lot of notes. There's a lot of learning going on today. I'm just going to pause this and I will continue in about a minute. Okay, we're going to start. I think I see a whole lot of new people that join. There's plenty of you guys in there. And I'd like to welcome you to the webinar on cryptocurrency, investing and trading for profits. Now, this will be, if you're a novice trader, you're first time trader, you're beginner, or you're experienced trader, this is going to be very, very much packed with information. So if you like, you can take notes. I'll make it easy for you to review later. Anyway, so we're going to start. And first of all, before we get going, my name is Sean, and I will be your presenter today, presenting this webinar. First thing first, I'm legally obligated to read the disclaimer to you. You can pause and go through this and you can read this, but I'll explain to you basically in a nutshell, what it says is cryptocurrency trading is very risky business. So please do understand this. And I always tell my students that trade that you should never, ever risk your family funds, your emergency funds, your rent, your mortgage. You should never do that. You should only risk trading where you could afford to lose, because you can lose not only just the profits, you can also lose your capital. It is very volatile. It is risky. And if you're not experienced, you don't understand everything about trading, a lot of people lose money. So please be very careful. We don't want that. We don't want anyone losing money. The purpose of this whole webinar is for you to understand how to trade effectively, how to use risk management. So this is the least of anything we want is someone losing money. All right. So go to the next. Please take a picture. If you like, you can scan the QR code, which will take you to a website. I will be showing this slide very frequently throughout the webinar, so you can note there is a WhatsApp number, text, SMS as well. So you can contact, you can send a message. There's email, there's website. All right, so we're gonna start off with the doubts. If you're thinking crypto is a hype, if you're doubtful, well, not too long ago, I was also in your shoes. I used to think as I was watching these guys, BlackRock, JP Morgan, SEC, talking about cryptocurrency being the currency to be used for drug smugglers and human traffickers, and it's not used for the right purpose. And they were creating a lot of doubts in my mind. But then the minute I turned off the mainstream media, I started researching on my own. And then you guys know what happened this year. So cryptocurrency became $2.6 trillion asset that's being traded, which is, I think, ranking somewhere between 7 and 8 on the asset class we're going to show you on the chart. Bitcoin ETFs were approved. And all these people that used to, talk, I would say crap before, are all in line. All are in line. So I'm going to show you some familiar faces here. So you guys, I'm sure, familiar with the CEO of Chase, Jamie Dimon. He's always been saying it's, cryptocurrency is not, there's no value. Bitcoin has no value. Cryptocurrency has no value. And recently, JP Morgan Chase bought a huge amount of Bitcoin, invested a large sum of money into Bitcoin. Same thing with Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. You've been hearing a lot about Bitcoin ETF. And Larry Fink, a couple of years ago, if you go on YouTube and Google his videos a couple of years ago, he was very negative. He was the one saying that it's been used for all these illegal activities and all that. And BlackRock right now is one of the biggest Bitcoin ETFs. So what changed their mind? They finally came to a realization when it's $2.6 trillion asset class, which is being traded, they all want piece of that. Same thing with Peter Schiff. And just recently, he made a statement that he made a mistake not investing in Bitcoin. Gary Gensler, we all know him, SEC chairperson. They have approved the ETF, and I think they're working on, Ethereum ETF coming up. So, you know, whatever they said before, things have changed. What changed? It's the money. It's a huge market, and they don't want to be left out. Pretty soon, you're going to find out that Bank of America and Wells Fargo, they will be offering Bitcoin and crypto to their clients, either in the form of ETF or other investment forms. But they are in the process of getting it approved so they can offer that. And these are the largest bank, one of the largest bank, or two of the most largest bank in the US. So if you subscribe to any of the news about cryptocurrency, you're getting all these messages, emails with El Salvador, using Bitcoin, and they're comparing now. Can crypto beat Google? It is 2.6 trillion at this moment, and they say by next year, by 2025, after the bull run, you're looking at about $7 to $10 trillion asset class. So it's no joke. Bitcoin has crossed 70, went up to 73. As we speak today, it went down to, I think, 68 or 69, but it's between that range. And if you all remember, not too long ago, it went all the way down. Was it like 10,000, 8,000, 13,000 range? And where is it now? So this shows the all 10 asset class, right? And you have different assets here. Commodities, you have gold, you have Apple tech, you have Microsoft, that's tech. You have energy, Saudi Aramco, you have energy. You have tech, Amazon tech. You have commodity silver, comes Bitcoin. When this chart was done, I think Bitcoin was around 1.12 or 1.2. As we speak today, Bitcoin is 1.4 trillion, and the whole cryptocurrency market is 2.6 trillion. So it's just going to keep going up as we approach the bull run. So begs the question, because a lot of my students, a lot of people messaging me and asking me, is it too late? Because Bitcoin's already gone to 73, 74. Is it too late to catch the bull run? And I wanted to go in a little bit specifics here, right? Bear with me. It might get a little bit too detailed, but this is information that is going to be very useful for you if you intend to trade or invest in cryptocurrency. You will understand the cycle. A lot of people do not know this. So what we call in cryptocurrency is 4 phases of crypto market cycle. I'm not going to go into detail into the curve, which is called the bell curve. I'm not going to get into detail of that. It's going to take a lot of time. I want to keep this webinar short, very specific, so you guys have enough knowledge. So anyway, the 4 phases of crypto market cycle: accumulation phase, run-up phase, which we call bull market. Then you have distribution phase, which is pretty much where the prices kind of top out, and then after that starts to come down. The sellers have accumulated as much as they can, and they're going to start selling them now. They've done enough buying. Then comes the rundown phase, which is the bear market, right? So here we go. And where are we now? I feel Again, this is my personal opinion. I feel that we're somewhere in the accumulation stage and we're heading up towards the run up. Now, the whole theory behind this is the Bitcoin halving, which is supposed to take place in May, sometimes around third week of May. Bull run is about 18 months, 16 to 18 months after that, starting from that time and onwards. So you still have about 16 to 18 months for the whole thing. But no one can really determine, just like when you trade, you don't exactly know when the price has just gone to the top and it's going to do a reversal. I know a lot of people look for that, but it's not easy. And a lot of people get liquidated or lose money because they wait for that price to come down. So when you reach, it's difficult to know when you've really reached this, until you start seeing prices going down and not recovering, not making a higher highs anymore. That's when you realize that it is going down. But we will go into more details on the future slides. So, for those of you that do not understand, why is halving so important? What is Bitcoin halving cycle? So, basically, what it does, I'm just going to explain to you. I'm not going to read all the details, but I'm going to explain to you very simply. What it really does is Bitcoin, every 4 years, it cuts off 50% of the production of Bitcoin. That is just to control the amount that's in circulation, right? So what happens is when it cuts 50%, the prices will go up. So it's demand and supply, right? There is huge demand as after ETF and everything, they're picking up everything that miners can mine every day. All the coins are and more. So we're looking at about by 2140, it will stop. And at that time, it would have reached the limit of 20 million Bitcoins. So I'll give you a little background. The first halving took place around November 20th, 2012. And at that time, there was a total of 10,500 BTC had been mined, almost half of the total supply of Bitcoin. Second halving occurred around July 9, 2016. And the halving, which is going to take place, is May 22nd, 2024, the upcoming one. Now, this begs the question, how long will the bull run last? That's a question everyone asks. Now, as I mentioned, my research shows that after the halving, you still have about 500 days of the bull run. It carries on. It's the market is bullish. Basically, bull run means the market is bullish, right? So the market stays bullish for about 500 days. So that's the estimate, and that's from the previous history as well. Most cryptocurrency experts believe that halving, there are different macro factors. And the general idea is around 12 to 18 months. Like I said, about the timeline that I gave, 12 to 18 months. But you have to understand something. This halving is totally different from the past. That's why we're not 100% when we give out these estimates. The reason being, the bull run being so different is because now there is institutional money involved. When we say institutional money, aggressive investors, we're talking about funds, big companies like BlackRock, JP Morgan Chase. Huge big companies are involved and they bought a lot of Bitcoin. A few years ago, it was just, you know, speculative investors, people that were speculating. It was retail investors, but now the whole paradigm has changed. So that's why we feel that it's going to be something different than all the previous one that we have historically seen. All right, so let's get into what are you going to learn in this webinar. Now, I want to make sure that you understand this before we go any further, that The whole thing about having this webinar is for you to understand, so you are well aware, you understand what cryptocurrency is, you understand how to buy it, how to trade it. You don't have to give your money and get scammed. You don't have to give your money to someone else. Here's my 10 grand, here's my 100 grand, here's my $1 million. Go ahead, trade for me. You don't need to do that. You can do that on your own. And this is the whole purpose. Either you trade with $10 or you trade with $1 million. It is very easy to understand how to trade. This is the whole purpose of the webinar. So you become aware and you learn, how you can trade. And I've covered different topics in this. The first one is, we talk about crypto, how to trade, how to take profits. The second one, we talk about analyzing coin because a lot of people ask me, what do you look for? Which coins to trade? So we discuss all that and we show you different techniques on how you can pick winners, how you can know which coin is about to pump. By the way, I just want to clarify something. Never be part of pump and dump. It is an illegal scheme. So you don't want to be part of that. But it's okay to understand if you use analytics, if you use fundamentals, and you understand that the coin's going to go up, there's nothing wrong with that. You're investing in that and making that money, making that profit. Number three is I want to make sure that I cover not everyone has time to actively trade. When I say trade, like scalpers, like scalping, watching the trade, watching the price go up, setting your stop loss, taking profits. That's a lot of work, right? Not everyone has time for that. And a lot of my students have asked me, we have $100 or 500 or 1,000 or 10,000, whatever. We want to put into a coin and we want to wait till it goes 100x or 1,000x in a week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever. So we cover that. We show you, we pick up gems, we show you how we pick them up and how you can invest in spot trading. So the word for that is spot trading, where you just buy and you leave it there. You don't have to actively trade or do anything. There's no leverage involved in that. So it's, the risk is still there. It might go down, but you don't lose anything because you don't sell. If it goes down, you wait. Hence, in the beginning, I mentioned, do not invest the money that you're going to need, something that you need urgently, family money, emergency funds. You don't do that. Rent, mortgage, you don't do that. Because if the price dips, goes down, who knows? No one knows when it's going to come up. It will come up. Sometimes it comes up within a day. Sometimes within a week it comes up and goes into profit. And then you can sell it. So in spot, all you do is just hold it. Right? There's guys that they're called hodlers. They hold Bitcoin for years, XRP for years. And one of our partners, we're going to talk about it, has been holding XRP for 6, 7 years. So he's waiting for the price to go to a certain, expectation that he has, and then he will sell. So we call that spot trading. All right. Number four, how to futures trade. This is the one that I enjoy a lot. I use leverage anywhere from 20 all the way to 100, sometimes 150x, but it is very, very risky. So you need to understand trading really well before you get into it. Otherwise, you can lose your money. Whatever money that you put into your account, you can lose that very easily. I have lost, money before trading with high leverage, and sometimes it has been so quick that I could not even adjust my stop loss. It just, there was a news or something and just price spiked and I was in a short. So experience teaches you all, and that's why this webinar will teach you the mistakes that I have learned, I have made, my friends have made. We're teaching you all that so you don't have to make those mistakes. Number five, it is very important. You probably never heard of this. This is the first time you're hearing about this. How to get funding to trade. So you can look up prop firms. You can Google prop firms. So what that means is, for example, I become a skilled trader. I'm really good at it. I go to these funding companies. They provide the fund. It's not my money. It's their money. Yes. That's what you heard. They provide the fund, 10,000, 5,000, 50,000, 400,000. They go up to 2 million. You trade that and you split profit with them. So you get to take 80%, they keep 20%. Sometimes it's 90-10, sometimes it's 70-30. Whatever the profit share is, you're not risking your money. You're risking their money. But they don't, they're not going to hand over their money to just anyone, right? So there is a testing phase, exam phase. You have to pass that. We have a whole, module on that we cover everything. I've been trading now with four firms right now, and I've just passed the two-phase test for one of the prop firms this month. I think it was around March, first week of March. I passed one, so I'll show you that as well. So that is also very good for those of you that do not have a lot of funds to trade with, or you don't want to risk your own funds. All right, number 6, crypto staking rewards and airdrops. So there are ways you can make money by just parking your money into a certain coin. You get rewards, you get airdrops for it. And one of our partners is the expert on that. So we'll be covering that topic. And then what we have for you is a bonus. So for those of you that stick around, so this is going to roughly, I'm going to try to keep it under an hour. This is a very comprehensive webinar where that hour that you spent could probably end up paying you, just by this free webinar, would end up paying you 100x, 1000x on your money if you follow, you take notes, and you apply that. So on top of that, what I'm going to give out is a bonus where I give out the coins that we have picked with research and everything. And those coins are just poised to go up, right? Again, I do want to say something. This is not, financial advice. This is for information purpose. I'm not an advisor. I'm not a registered broker or anything. This is only for educational purpose. And you take this, you soak it in, and you apply it on your own. Don't take my word for it. Always do your research. Do not take anyone's word for it, especially when it comes to crypto. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of scams. In the beginning, everyone that goes into crypto somehow gets scammed because we all want to make money. But sometimes you don't understand everything. Even experienced guys. I mean, Mark Cuban, a billionaire, recently got scammed for $800,000 when he connected his MetaMask wallet, and it was a fake one. I think he received an email or something, and it drained his money, $800,000. So we cover all that. We have a whole chapter on that, how to avoid scams. And if you avoid that, if you follow the chapter, you will never, no one's going to be able to scam you. If you have those, protections in place, your storage, your cold wallet, we're going to cover all that. So that bonus is going to give you roughly about 8 coins where you can throw in from $10 to whatever you can afford, $500, $1,000, and the coins are going to go up. Okay. All right, so about me. Now let's break this down. This is probably too much for you to just read at one time. Let me just go one by one. So I'm in my 50s, and I'm not some teenager working out of my parents' basement. I'm in my 50s, and surprisingly, I've been trading for over a year. Yes, I've not been trading. I'm going to be very candid and honest with you. I haven't been trading for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or 30 years. And I've learned something that when you understand trading, when you research it, this is something I do 24/7. I'm retired from businesses. I have several businesses. I don't work for anyone. And I started trading. I went into trading. I learned everything that there was. Yes, did I lose money? Of course I did. Not a whole lot, but I lost money. So my goals are probably different than most people. Most teenagers that want to have a Lambo or, a private jet ride or whatever. My goals are different. My goals are to provide for my family, work for myself, so I have more time for family, more family time. And I have the freedom when I work from home. I live in one of the most expensive cities in the world. I think everyone that lives in New York City falls in the tax bracket of about 50%, 55%. So basically, if I'm going to take home 15K or 20K a month, that means I better be earning 40 or 50K, right? You're at about 50, 55% after all is done. That's the bracket that you're at. So just wanted to live comfortably and be able to work for myself and spend more time. That was my goal when I got into trading. So as I mentioned, yes, I lost money. Not gonna say like those guys on different social media. I'm not knocking anyone down, but I read a lot. They say I lost $1 million. I lost $10 million. Now I created a system. No, I did not. And I'd be stupid if I lost a lot of money. So I did lose some money, and the reason was that was my first 3 to 4 months, and the main reason that everyone loses money, it's across the board the same. You're impatient, right? You just don't want to wait. You want to do things really quick. Greed takes over. You see profits going into 80%. My $1,000 is at 1,000, 800. I'm greedy. I want it to touch 100. I want it to go 2,000. It's something in your head. And it will go 80, 85, 90, and you don't take profits. It's greed. And you're waiting. And then from 90, it'll reverse back to 50, 40. I'm sure if you trade, you know what I'm talking about, right? And eventually it might even go in negative. And then you will end up closing your trade or just, don't want to wait anymore. You want to cut your losses. And then you regret. You could have taken that 80% profit. So greed is there. This is why you need to be disciplined. So I lack discipline. I lack knowledge. I did not understand crypto that well. I was very confused because you have millions of videos. You can go on YouTube and every guy will talk about a system. Will try to, talk about a different system or a different method that he used that works for him, and you get confused. You're inundated with a lot of information that you can't digest, right? And then the indicators, which we use to trade, confusing because there are thousands and thousands of indicators. So these were one of the reasons in the beginning of my trading that I lost a little bit of money. And then I started learning and I decided, although I had a mentor, but remember one thing, and please try to pay attention to this analogy I give you. Doesn't matter what I teach you, does not matter how many videos you watch, does not matter how many books you read. Unless you have screen time, you're not going to get experience. Not every coach, is going to make, Shaq, the basketball player, if he starts coaching today, he's not going to produce another Shaq. No, that's not going to happen. So you have to put in your own time. You have to have passion for this. You have to understand the game. You can't be in a hurry. Okay. So, a couple things that I realized when I was going through this whole trading, practicing different trades, different indicators, different things. A couple things I realized, which in the beginning was totally, I was ignorant of that. The main factor in trading is called support and resistance. If you understand this point, if you understand this, you can be very successful in trading. In other words, demand and supply, right? So in business, in any field, you understand when there is demand for something, there's a huge demand, the supply is going to run short, right? Because everyone wants it. Everyone wants it. So once you understand this concept about anything in general, you will succeed. Same thing goes for trading. When I realized that, when I started watching price, and I was like, why? I take my price, it's going up, it goes to a certain level, and then it bounced right back. And you don't see anything on the chart, it just bounced right back. Because in the beginning, I wasn't that aware. I didn't know how to chart. I didn't know how to make all those lines that people were making, you know. And I started reading up and researching on it, and finally realized that this is where you make big money once you get this. So Design. Well, I did not personally. I'm not a coder, but I got my indicators designed, and they're very specific to support and resistance. And you will see when I show you examples. That helped me when I started winning a lot more trades. So, guys, keep something in mind, which I want to be very honest. If anyone tells you they don't lose any, they're not being honest with you. Everyone loses a trade. The game plan in trading is to win more than you lose, but losses are going to be there. But if you have proper risk management, if you understand how to place those stop losses, you can minimize your losses. But losses will be there. Why? Because no one has a crystal ball. No one knows where the price is going to go. We use analytics. We use fundamentals, market fundamentals, outside fundamentals, read the charts. And 70%, 60%, 75%, maybe 80%, we're right. But 20% is out of our control. Anything could happen. A big news could come up. God forbid, a terrorist attack would take place somewhere. Things beyond your control. And everything affects the market. So this is why the management strategy has to be there. You have to risk manage. You have to understand how to take those precautionary steps to save your money. And if you do that, once you learn that and it becomes a practice and you live by it, you have no problem at all. You'll do good. And at the end, I use all that, and now I don't use any of my money. I trade. As I said, I've already passed my evaluation stage with the new company, and I'm already working with three before. And my accounts range from 10,000 all the way to $250,000. So that's the amount of money that I get, and I trade with that. And whatever the profits are made, we split. There's various different split. We're going to cover that in the future lessons. All right. So nothing could be possible if I was all by myself. You need to have a team, especially people that are expertise, people that have been in this field, people that understand. Now, Jason, he's one of the guys he's one of the, one of the oldies when it comes to crypto. He's been in this game for about 8, 9 years. He understands this a lot more. And he is an artist by profession, and he's a trader. Paul and I started around the same time. He's a medical professional. His goal was also that, spend more time with family. He's a family man, wanted to spend more time with family, went into crypto so he could make some extra money so he doesn't have to work all that overtime or second job. Dan is a coder by profession. He's done a lot of different things. He's helped out with indicators, with trade signals, many different things, because he understands, coding. And at the same time, he's a passionate trader. And that helps him to understand designing indicators much better. He understands, where the price is, where the price is going to go. You understand that a lot better because he's trading himself. And one of the benefits that we have is our team is very much diversified, right? I'm in New York, someone's in California, someone's somewhere in the Midwest. Dan is in the UK, so we understand the UK market. One of the things that we understood by having this team is, which we're going to cover later on, you can make a lot of money if you understand session timing. What do I mean by that? So, New York Stock Exchange or session opens at 9. Now, I understand you're going to say, well, crypto is not stock, it's open 24/7. But please keep in mind, the big money that comes in is institutional, right? Institutional money does not work on the weekends. It works 9 to 5. So when the stock exchange, the businesses open up. So what happens is that's New York time, right? And then you have UK timing. London Exchange opens up. When London Exchange open up, big money comes in from there. So that's why we started understanding a lot of things with experience. And you, like I said, you can make, just by learning this, you can make a lot of money. Forget about anything else. If you just know when to take your position, when to sell it, when to buy, when to sell. If you base it on sessions. All right. So I'm going to show you these examples of my trade. You will also see negative 11.91. I wanted to be honest, wanted to show you, yes, there are losses as well. There's always losses, but we understand how to minimize that. You see, if you compare that with the gains, if you look at the gains, the first one, 996%. If you look at my loss, 11.91. Why? There was a stop loss set at about 10% or 11%. And sometimes when you have a leverage of that's 102x. So when you have that kind of leverage, it goes really quick. So to hit my stop loss, I went to 11.9. So let's say I was trading with 10, let's say $1,000. I lost $110 on that, but a stop loss was risk management for me, and it stopped me there. Didn't lose all my money. Anyway, excuse me. You can see the question marks. Why? I have shown the percentages. I haven't shown the amount. The same chart is going to appear towards the end. So this is an incentive for you guys to stay and understand the whole webinar. And towards the end, I'm going to reveal all the amount. And you'll get an idea what kind of money you can make. What are these percentages? And I use anywhere from 24. I think the minimum on here is 24x. 24x all the way up to, I think I'm at 150, 149, 150x. So 150% margins. All right. So we're going to show you that at the end. Okay. Let's start off with the elephant in the room. The question that you have, and a lot of my students ask me this. Sometimes they're embarrassed, but they ask me. They ask me, what do I do? Why am I doing this? Why am I teaching? If I'm doing good in trading, if I'm making money in trading, why do I need to spend time teaching and stuff, right? So usually the question comes from people that are not entrepreneur. They're not business minded. They're job oriented people. An entrepreneur will never ask that question. Why? Let me explain something to you. The crypto market is $2.6 trillion market, right? It's going to go out to 10 until 2025, between 7 and 10. That's the estimate. Now, what does it matter to me if you take $10,000 home today? What does it matter to me? You take $1 million home today. What does it matter to me? Is it coming out of my kitty? No. The pie is huge and it's getting bigger and bigger every day, right? It's at 2.6 trillion and it's going to go to 7. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't matter. So the first thing is money doesn't come out of my pocket. It's not like if it's a secret, if I don't share this, or if I share this, there's less for me. There is a lot more than I could do anything with, right? I'm not worried about that. Now let's go to the second concern. If I'm making money, why should I do this, right? Well, if you're an entrepreneur, you'd understand that, excuse me, earning money in multiple verticals, that's how people make money. The businessman make money by investing in various different things. Now, what is trading for me? I make decent money, pays my bills. I don't need anyone's money. I live very comfortable. I'm actively trading. I'm doing futures trading, but I'm involved in that. I spend time. I look at my trades. I spend a few hours. I research, and then I make my trade, take my profits or sometimes losses, and take my profit. That's the active. What's passive trading or recurring income? It could be spot trading where you bought Bitcoin and you left it. You bought a crypto called Lena and you left it, right? That's passive. What else is passive? This is passive income for me. Do you guys get it now? So it doesn't take my time. It's something which I've done and it's passive income. The most time it takes is doing a webinar for an hour. But the whole setup, the whole course has already been set up. You understand that? So it's an additional income for me, and it's aside from my trading. And at the same time, I come from teaching background. And I love to teach. If I can help 10 other people start earning a couple $100 a day, $300 a day, we understand $300 a day, $200 a day helps out a lot. If you already have a job and you get additionally, you can make a couple $100 a day, wouldn't that help you? I mean, just you can write on the chat. You can say yes if it would help you or not. $200 a day if you trade 5 times, right? That's a decent income. That's 4 grand a month, right? That's you're making on top of whatever you're making. If you're making $100 a day, you do it only five. That's 2 grand a month. So if it can help you and you guys can learn and do this, if I can do this, and as I said, as I told you before, I haven't been trading all my life. It is a year and a couple months for me. And some of my friends and colleagues are very surprised because I do a lot better than them. And that's because I devoted myself to this. I wanted to learn. Okay, now enough about me and everything. Let's just go to the point where why have you taken this time to listen to the webinar? There's a reason for it, right? Why did you want to come here and listen to this webinar? And the reason is, I'm going to put it in one word, it's freedom. Now, freedom of what? Freedom comes in various different forms, right? So maybe you want freedom of time. You want to be able to spend more time, for yourself. Maybe you want to go to gym, you want to get better, you want to spend more time with family, you want to do things with your family. That's right there. That gives you that freedom, right? What's the second freedom? Location. So if I was working, living in even in New York City, Manhattan, commuting back and forth, that's tiring enough. Going through the subway and everything. I mean, don't want to be doing that. So you have that freedom. You can work whenever you want. Crypto market's open 24/7. You can work on the weekends. You can work in the evening. You can work on weekdays, right? You can work whenever you want. You can schedule your holidays. If you want to have time, you want to take your, kids out, your wife out, you got time for that. So that's the second freedom, right? What's the third freedom? Everyone knows this one. It's a financial freedom, right? You want to have more money so you can do more things, whatever things. You got bills, you got debt, you want to take holidays, you want to give to charity because the saying, you have to have money to give money, right? You want to have security for your family, you want to have other options. These were the things that motivated me and pretty much across the board motivates everyone else. Now what comes is called the barriers, right? What is stopping you? What are the barriers? Let's go through that. So, probably most of you that are watching this webinar probably do not trade or do not understand how to trade. Or if you have tried it, you're not very good. You're not making profit. You're not in where you could support yourself just by doing this. Or you might not have a lot of time on your hands. There might be restrictions of financial resources. You don't have a lot of money. And sometimes no goals are set. All those are barriers. So let me touch on two factors. The two factors that we picked up from there is number one, that you're not skilled or skilled enough to be profitable, right? You might be trading, but you can trade to earn a living where you're paying all your bills and everything like I do out of trading, right? Maybe you're not. And the second thing is, let's just say you get there, you do good, you're smart, you get there, but you do not have the resources. You need money to trade, right? And a lot of people, by the way, this is a research that almost, I think, 70% or 75% of traders have about $1,000 to trade. So you see these guys are trading 100,000 or 200,000 or 50,000 or 10,000. They're in that 20%. Rest of us, 80%, right? So do not have a lot of money to trade. So that's also one of the factors that could stop you even once you become better at it, right? And we covered those two factors in this webinar itself. going to cover those two factors where you can overcome both of them. So you don't have to worry about borrowing money or using your own family money. All right, we're going to keep showing this slide. So, if you want to scan the QR code, you want to note the WhatsApp text messages, feel free to text us and we'll be able to reply to you. Okay, 9 things that you need to know if you want to succeed in crypto trading. Okay, I'm going to go through this really fast because I'm already at 45 minutes. So I'm going to keep it around not too long. If I can, do hour, 10 minutes at the most. All right. So we're going to go through them really fast. Analysis, technical, and fundamental. We need that in trading. We need to understand. We need to analyze things. We need to understand before we open our position because a lot of things can change. Number 2, confirmations. Confirmation means a signal or an indicator is telling you something. You need to have a second indicator telling you something so you have confirmation. It is very risky the way it is. You don't want to lose money. That's when we need confirmation. All right. Execution, timely manner. How you execute when you start your trade. You need to know that. Manage. Once you've opened your trade, you need to manage. Means you need to start moving your stop losses. We teach you all that, how to move your stop losses. You need to take profit. Sometimes you can take just 25% profit. I'm going to give you an example. All these guys holding Bitcoin, I don't want to sell. It's going to go up. It went up to 73, went up to 73, went up to 74. And I always tell them, take profits. Take 30%, take 50%. If you don't want to sell it off, that's fine. Take some profit because if it goes down, what's going to happen? And what happened? Went down. And now they're panicking and they will sell at a lower price. So you need to take profits. Whatever money you have is when you take profit. What you see on the screen, you can see 100,000, you can see 500,000 profit. That doesn't mean anything unless you've cashed out. That's when you have the money in your hand. That's when you have the profit because that can change. Tomorrow something would happen, it would dive down. So from $500,000 profits that you see might go down to $100,000. You just lost $400K that you could have made, you could have taken. And you'd regret that. So please don't do that. Take profits. Maximizing your profits, right? Scale. When you become better, you start making more money. We teach you how to scale, how to put that money into some of the gems. Gems are like new coins that are coming up. And they can go 1,000x. They can go sometimes 2,000x, 10,000x. New coins. Not the one that's already matured. So we teach you that as well. How to pick them, how to invest in them. Market movements, you need to understand what's going on in the market. You need to be aware. Okay, all right. Finally, these 2 factors, there's nothing that I could do to teach you that. That is your own, the own, how you manage that. Let me tell you the first one. Mindset. Your mindset, your discipline has to be there. You have to be in the state of mind. You can't just wake up and you see a coin going up, you take your position thinking it's going to go up. No, you need to go back and check everything. So your mindset has to be there, right? And finally, external influence. It is very important to have your family, your friends, people that are close to you, you have to have their support. If you don't have their support, if you like when I first got into this, I sat down with my wife and I said, you know what, I'm going to start this. And I think I might lose a couple grand, 5 grand, 10 grand, but I'm going to learn and eventually I'm going to make it up. But that's what I'm going to devote myself to. And I'm going to be spending a lot of time in front of it. So if you want to go shopping or something, we have to plan that before. You can't pull me out of a trade. Once I'm there, I can't do these things or I can't run errands and stuff. We sat everything. Luckily, I have a very, very supportive wife. And she said, go for it. So you need to have this conversation before you get into it with your family, with people that are providing you emotional support, your girlfriend, your spouse, your whoever there is, right? Your parents. And once you have that, you will do much, much better. All right. Like I said, I'm going to breeze through these things. Your financial future. So step by step, we're going to go into it. First of all, it's not a get rich quick scheme. I know you've been watching all these videos on YouTube and TikTok and whatnot. And these guys come in and on rented Ferraris and yachts and plane or private jets, whatever. and then they give you this spiel, the story that you're going to get rich overnight. It does not work that way. Trust me, it does not work that way. Everyone thinks that, but it's not. It might be luck for one guy, just like someone wins a lottery, but it doesn't work on an average. It's not work. And thinking that you're going to be the one that you're going to hit the jackpot, I would say that you're living in La La Land, dreamland. I'm just being honest. If someone's getting upset because I'm saying things which is honest truth, you should not be. You should be happy that I'm telling you exactly how things are in reality. So it's not a get rich quick scheme. Yeah. You're not going to be overnight millionaire. No. You would have to understand if you're earning $5,000, for example, you want a supplemental with another 500. Yes, that is very much possible. You can do that. Then your incomes become 5,500. It will take you some time. And then what you can do is you can scale back from work. If you're earning now 5,500, you don't have to do a part-time job. You can spend that time with family. You can spend that time in the gym. You can do things to self, for yourself. Whatever you want to do. You want to spend time with family. You want to do self-improvement. You want to travel. You have that option. And at the end of the day, you're doing it at home. So you should have a plan in mind in 6 months or when I'm talking about actively trading, learning how to trade. Okay. So what you could do at that time is once you become where you can do the complete, let's say 5,000, now you're earning 5,000 from trading. At that point, you can decide, do you want to keep your job? You want to quit your job? Do you want to just do this? Whatever. I mean, I got into it. I was like, when you throw a kid in the swimming pool thinking he's going to learn, otherwise, he's going to drown. I was the same way. I was just pretty much threw myself in and I had to learn. There was no way that I could give up. There was no way. And I did. And I'm very happy that I took that step. Yes, there were days where I felt frustrated. There were days where I was like, this is not going to work out. I lost money. I lost in this trade. And it's frustrating. But you persevere. You go through this, you learn, research, and you can make money. Okay, so let me explain to you the course that we offer. What do you get out of that? What's in the course? So I'm going to explain to you. It is based on 8 modules, right? So we have total 8 modules, and these are just the modules that are mentioned. There are 8 modules, and each module, keep this in mind, has roughly from 6 to 8 chapters. So this is an example of one of the modules. 8 chapters. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking 8 chapters. I barely got done with school or college, and I don't want to go back and study all this. Don't forget, I come from a teaching background. So one of the things that I learned, and I taught kindergarten, I taught, the grade school, middle, primary, middle. And one of the things is at that age, when they're learning, well, there's 4 styles of learning, right? But the most common, what are the four styles of learning? You got visual, auditory, you got reading and writing, kinesthetic, right? And everyone's different. Everyone learns differently. But the most common, can you guys guess? I want to see in the chat if you can guess. Which would be, you think, is the most common style that, people prefer learning through? Any guesses? So the number 1 is visual. People love learning by watching it. I'll give you my example. When I was going through, high school, I hated history. I had to learn history, but I hated history. I hated reading history books. But back in the days, like I said, I'm in my 50s. So back in the days, we had the day I used to see my teacher, pushing a television and a VCR. For those of you that do not know VCR, you put in a VHS tape in it. We didn't have CDs and flash drive back then. So the day I see him pushing that TV and a VCR in the classroom, I was very excited because I learned so much by watching films about history films. And this was my way of learning instead of reading books. What is the second one? Auditory, by listening. So my whole lesson is based on videos, the whole lesson, where you watch everything and you hear and you learn from that. Let me show you an example of this. So for example, these are four, different chapters taken up from there. Buy crypto, how to buy crypto, simple 5-minute trading hacks. Then you got indicator design for crypto, specially designed for crypto. So this is example that I give you. Anyway, so there are various different chapters and they're really easy. They all range. The maximum time is like 15 minutes. Most of the chapters I kept it at 10 because that's a good time. That is good time for, well, all of you are pretty much busy professionals. You have work, and you're going to be probably learning part time first, so you get to the point where you can trade full time, right? All right. Now, before I get into more details, I just don't want to waste your time if you fall into one of these categories. You need money urgently to pay bills. This is not for you. It's not going to work out. I'm telling you this right now. You should get a job. You should find some other source for that, right? You're planning on quitting your job ASAP. No. You think that, okay, now I got this course. I'm going to do this. And again, I don't mean to discourage. I'm sure there are people like me, 3 to 4 months, on my feet, making money. I'm sure there are people, I'm not cutting anyone down, but I'm just giving you reality that, this is not likely to happen. That you can first quit your job and then come up and do this. You need to pay bills. You need to have that job, right? You're the type that you think you know everything. It's not going to work out for you. If you cannot take instructions, not going to work out for you. If you're a very emotional person, you use emotions. In trading, you cannot be emotional. You have to go through the discipline, how we teach. You have to go through that process. You have a strong gambling tendencies? No. No gamblers allowed. Trading is not gambling. We use analytics. We use fundamentals. We read the charts. And this is how we trade. So it's not, it's not gambling. And if you're a gambler, then you're going to keep on gambling and you're going to keep on losing money. We don't want you in this. We don't want you to be losing money. My whole thing about this is so you become prosperous. You spend more time with your family. Your spouse is happy. Your kids are happy. But if you were gambling, what you're really doing is you're breaking up your family. You're headed for divorce. You're losing your friends. You're not going to have friends for long. You're going to be miserable. So we don't want you to be doing that. You've been trading unsuccessfully and cannot change. You're stubborn. You need to learn. You need to understand. You need to see where you're wrong. There are a lot of people. I have students that have been trading for 15 years. And the first question they ask me is, Sean, you've been trading for a year. What are you going to teach me? And I tell them, I said, you're the one that contacted me. I didn't contact you. There must be something wrong in your trading that you're contacting me and you're asking me all this. He goes, yeah, well, I'm not profitable. And I said, well, so it doesn't matter if you've been trading for 10 years. If you've been doing things wrong for 10 years, repeatedly the same thing over and over again, it doesn't matter if you've been trading for 50 years. So you have to understand that you can learn in a shorter period of time if you're interested in something. And you need to have time to research. You can't jump on a trade. Okay. So what are the fun and easy part about this? Well, nothing is easy about trading, but the easy part about doing this, if you're tired of your 9 to 5 job, you want to be your own boss. Like, I just don't want to work for anyone. It's excellent for me. It works out good. All you really need is a laptop and internet connection. I travel a lot. Nowadays, we're spending a lot of time. We travel a lot. So all I need is my laptop and there's a strong internet connection. I can trade anywhere. I'm not restricted. 1 to 2 hours, 3 hours a day. In the beginning, I was trading a lot, 24 hours, 12 hours, 10 hours. And then now that I have the whole system in place, I understand trading, I understand a lot of things, I understand sessions. I can wake up at 7, do a little research. At 9, when New York opens up, I already have my long position. I know this coin's going to go up. People are going to pump money into it, right? And New York opens up from 9 till 10, 10:30. I make my money and close my position. I get out. And then I might do it in the evening around 9, 10:30 when Asia opens up. when it's going to go long again. So once you understand that, things become a lot easier. Again, please QR code some details if you want to copy that. Okay. All right, the first one, table of contents, we're going to go into very briefly. We're already at 1 hour. We're going to try to whiz through this really, really quick. I'm not going to go, I'm not going to read. You guys can read that. You can understand what cryptocurrency is. Basically, it's a digital currency and it is decentralized, so it's very different from banks, right? And there's various, you probably, everyone knows Bitcoin. Everyone knows Bitcoin, but there's over 2,000 other cryptocurrencies. And you can make a lot more money with other cryptocurrencies. You can also lose money, so you have to be very careful. But you can make a lot more money because they have a huge potential where Bitcoin is only going 1%, 2%, 3%. Some coins go up to 80% in a day, 30% in a day, 100% in a day. So you have to understand which coins they are, where they are, how to buy them, right? Now, how many strategies are there? There are basically 4 types of trading strategies. Day trading, usually that means morning to afternoon. So it's 9 to 5. Scalp trading, which is, I love scalp trading, which is very short. It could be 5 minutes, could be 1 minute, could be 1 hour, could be 30 minutes. It's called scalping, right? Swing traders, they usually open the trade and they leave it for 1 day, 1 night, 2 days, or they do a trend change. A 4 hour trend will go for 3 days, 4 days, and it will change. Those are swing traders. Position traders, now that's pretty much everyone that's called hodlers, or they hold, people that buy Bitcoin and hold it for years, sometimes weeks, months, years. They're called position trader, also spot trader. Relatively very, very safe. So the riskiest of all, out of all the 4, scalp trading, right? And then the safest one is position trading. Okay, so you guys got that. Spot trading and futures trading, I've just got a little comparison, which I can go just really quick over that. Spot trading is very easy to learn, very safe, almost no losses as long as you don't sell it. No active trading within same day, or you can leave it on. You can start trading the same day when you do the course. 4 hours, 5 hours, you can get into the spot trading. You can start earning, obviously, same time. It's very stable income. Futures trading, it takes a little bit of time to learn. You need screen time. You need to understand how things behave. You can use high leverage. So let's say you have $100. I use 100x sometimes, 50x. So you can use that. It is risky again. I'm telling you, it's risky. So you need to understand. You need to have some experience before you get into high leverage, right? So it's high risk, high reward. 1 to 2 week screen time before you actively getting into trading. It's high income. Obviously, you can make a lot more money some days. You've seen my price went up to 996%. 8 hours, 9 hours, sometimes 4 hours. And spot, it would take maybe a month, maybe 2 months, right? So yes, that in futures trading, that is there, but it can also go the other way. It can go the opposite way as well. High income, not just wins, there are losses as well. I'm just going to show you an example. I've date marked on it. It's RLC, a coin. The pair is RLC USDT. I think I traded this on 21st of Jan 2024. And you can see in 3 days, it climbed up to 72%. Now, this is 72%. I usually trade with minimum, I think I trade is 25x. So you can imagine if I had 10x in there, that's 720% in 3 days. That's a decent amount of money. So if I had $1,000, that turned into, almost 1,720, almost two grand, right? So that's in 3 days, 72%. Tell me which asset gives you 72% return in 3 days. I can't think of one. But if you can, you can put it in the comments, and I'd love to, research. Maybe I'll try it. Okay. Second coin, I think it was AR. It took 5 days. It reached 175%. Now, that, if I just had a 10x on there, that's 1,750%. I told you I normally trade 25, 24x. I don't go 10x. Normally it's 25. So that's about, for me, that's about 2,000, roughly about 2,500 percentage. So you can see with crypto why, all this concept about hedge fund giving you 10%, 12% a year, banks giving you 7%, 30%. And if you say, hey, I can give you 50%, 100%, like, oh, you're a scammer, Ponzi scheme. Those people do not understand crypto. Crypto is it's the nature of this beast is something totally out of the ordinary. And if you don't understand this, that's what's going to happen. I was the same way when I was learning this, and I heard some of the guys that I was trading with would put in $1,000. An hour later, they walk out with 5 grand, and I'd be like, that's impossible. You can't do 5,000%. And then I got involved in trading and started learning and seeing how coin jump. I've been in trades where it's gone up to 1,200%, 1,300% within an hour, within 1 hour. But again, guys, giving you the example doesn't mean that you're going to make this money right away. It's going to happen to you right away. No, that's not the purpose of this example. Please, I don't want to mislead you. I'm just explaining to you my experience. Okay. So some of the questions that I get, and I love it, is, how much money can I make? That depends on you. I cannot give you an answer. How disciplined are you with your trading, and how you research, you spend time, what kind of money you put in, what kind of leverage are you using? So it all depends on that. I think that trade I took with H bar, and that was at the most I spent 20, 25 minutes, and that was 127% that I made. Okay, let's go to the second one. Well, above an hour, we're 1 hour, 6 minutes. How to analyze. Now, there's many things you're going to learn. Many, many things. First of all, is going to be crypto lingo. I'm not going to go over that, but I'm just going to touch a couple of them. So, hodl. I know it's not a spelling mistake. That's how they say it. It's spelled wrong, but that's how they say it. They don't say hold, they say hodl. Hodlers. You're going to learn a lot of words. Noob means newbie. Token, stop losses. You're going to learn various different words in crypto language. And if you're in Discord or different places, you probably know most of them. But anyway, the lingo is important, and you should learn if you want to be successful. So you're going to learn in this course in how to use TradingView, how to use charts, how to use indicators, how to use exchanges like Mexi, Binance, how to do the trade with 100x, 50x, 30x. Everything's explained. How to transfer fiat into crypto. Basic thing. If you're someone that does not know anything about crypto, you've never bought a single crypto, perfect. You have no problem at all. You're going to find how to source coins, what to look for coins, where the coins are, how to know if it's going to go up or down. Well, no one knows that, but again, from analytics, right? All right, and then a bunch of referrals you will get. You need to go on these sites, you need to get membership, whatever. There's a bunch of referrals offered in the program. You will learn how to use Coinbase. You will learn how to use CoinMarketCap, which is very, very informative and full of information site. I use this every day. You're going to learn, DEX tools, very useful site. And this site, Crypto Bubbles, is amazing. It tells you where the coins are. You can set up time 1 minute, 5 minute, whatever you like. It tells you everything. And I use this every day before I take my position. So you're going to learn all that. Now, I want to come to something. You've probably heard the saying, if you can't beat him, join him, right? And one of the things that I learned, and this took me, again, this comes from experience, trading, took me a long time. And I learned, I was like, when a coin pumps, it goes up. Imagine if you found out before that it's going to pump. Of course, that is illegal. If you're part of a group and you're pumping it, that is totally legal. But if you could use knowledge, science, analytics to find out this coin is going to jump, this coin is going to go up, and you buy it before that in spot. I'm not talking about leverage. Forget leverage, forget risk, just in spot. And it goes up. 50%, 30%, 100%. You made money, right? Well, there's a little trick which I share, and there's a whole chapter in my course on that. And it's basically for you to figure out, before a coin will go 1000x or 100x. Well, I'm gonna teach you to use Dune.com, CoinMarketCap, Spot on Chain AI, DBank, and Zerion.io. Once you know all these sites, and I'll teach you how to use it, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to see a guy will be called a whale. A whale means a huge investor. Could be hedge fund, could be institutional investor, could be a guy. There are guys that have 100 million, 500 million, 400 million, $1 billion. There are guys. They trade. Imagine someone, a whale that's holding 500 million of crypto, and you can see that he's holding 500 million of crypto. He buys a coin. You know something? I'm honest with you, I don't have 500 million worth of cryptos. So he must know something, right? And hence he has $500 million worth of cryptos. If he buys a certain crypto, and if I know this, and if I can imagine, if I can get a text message on my phone that a whale bought into, let's say, Algo, a coin called Algo, and he bought $50 million worth of Algo. You know what? I wouldn't waste any time. I'd go in there and buy Algo right at that time when I get that message. Imagine if you could get that. Well, you know what? It is really easy. You follow the steps, which I cover with these websites. You started getting messages. This is all free, doesn't cost you anything. You start getting messages. Start telling you, this whale has bought this whale has sold this whale has bought this. And what happens then? Let me show you. Once you have that knowledge, look at this chart here. This is AR. Remember we talked about in 3 days? In 5 days, it went up 175%. 175%. Well, here was my research. I started researching these guys. I went on that date. That's why those sites are useful. And I explained in the chapter, I explained in my course, I explained everything. I went on these dates, started looking. There's ways you can search. See, remember, it's decentralized. So everything is available. You just have to have the knowledge how to find it. I started going and looking at that. I was like, okay, who bought here? And then I would go look into it. And then I would see a bunch of guys that bought here. They must knew something. Why were they buying here? They must knew something, right? That I didn't know. You didn't know. But these guys knew, and they were worth 100 million, 50 million, 200 million, $1 billion. One guy had 3.5 or $3.8 billion worth of crypto in his account. It all shows because it's decentralized, right? You can check wallets. And I'm like, okay, he bought here. I went into the account. I searched for the biggest account. Biggest account was $495 million. And I said, okay, I subscribe to that guy. Now, every time, because it's decentralized, every time he buys something on an exchange, because that's where you buy it, right? I get a message. And I go and I buy that. That's the strategy. That's the easy, simple strategy. So these guys bought it here, and then it went up. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And then look at this. Let's say they sold even here, 50%, and they bought for like $100 million. They just made $50 million in what? In maybe 2 days? 1, 2. Yeah. In 1 or 2 days. And here, they didn't want to take a chance. They didn't want to wait all the way up, go to 175%. I wouldn't either, because it's risky. It went up that far, but you made 30%, 50%, 100%, sell it. You see this right here? These are sales. You see the red? These are people selling. So, and who is selling? Not this guy. And this guy's probably waiting for it to go up higher. Who is selling here? Who is selling here? Who is selling here? These guys. So, this is how you follow this. This is how you learn this. This is what we teach you in this program. All right, next one. So this is not a strategy about picking gems and leaving them in spot. It's very simple. Anyone can do it. You get Coinbase account. There's various different exchanges that you can get. I think I did this on my own account and went in there. I wanted to buy RLC, and I went in there and I bought it. And then I think I spent it's $500. That was that deal that you see when the prices went up 175%. Bought it for $500, and that's it. Preview, and that's it. You just leave it. There's a spot. Nothing. You don't have to do anything else. You bought it, leave it, wait till it goes up, sell it. As simple as that. Anyone can do it. I think a kid can do it. It's so simple and easy. But a kid should not be doing it, and a kid should not be in my webinar. So if you're under 18, you're in this webinar, please exit out right now. Please. All right. Now, back to the QR code. If you want to scan that, go right ahead. You want to take notes of the phone number, email address, please go right ahead. All right. Moving on to the next one. Now, that's my favorite one, futures trading, which I love doing, scalping, trading. Now, the system that we have is very simple, based on two indicators, just two very simple indicators, which we designed, and you get that part of the deal, right? And it's a lot of back testing to it, and it's very simple to use. Let me show you how it works. So short means when you bet against the market, right? So you buy it at a certain time, and then you're gonna sell it when it goes down. So what happens is with short, very simple. You have these two indicators. You're going to wait for this arrowhead right here. You see this? This comes up. You jump up here. You're going to wait for the price to come below the white line. You see this thick white line? You're going to wait for the price to come below that. Okay, price came below that here. You're doing a short. You're going to wait for a red trend, the red background. We made it so easy. You don't have to look for the trend lines. It's trend in color, green and red. Green is for long, red is for short. You're going to wait for that. You're going to wait for the label when it says break, and you're going to wait when it says retest. So I'm going to explain that in the course in detail, but here, break and retest means when a price comes down, it breaks the the support, and then what it does, it goes back up and goes back down again, right? We call that retest. That just confirms that it's going to go down, and then you can see the profit going down. That's how you take short. For long, just the opposite. You wait for a green arrowhead right here. It means it's going to go up. And then you wait for the price to be above the white line. See, for short, it was below. For long, above the white line. Same thing. Trend has to be green. It has to break. And then look at this. Look at all the profit going up. So these are the two simple indicators that we use. These were designed specifically on support and resistance. So you don't have to, you see these lines, what is it breaking? It is breaking resistance here. It is breaking support, it's breaking resistance, right? That's what's breaking. You don't have to do any charting. Just imagine all that is done in the indicators. You never have to chart again. And it is so effective that you can take your position, you can place your stop losses. It makes it really easy. Now, the third thing, which I mentioned before, holidays and session. Now, since I have learned this trick, how to make money, and I'm going to show you in the next few slides, it has been amazing payoff for me. I use this, I always keep this where it shows me which session is active. Is New York active, London active, Sydney, Tokyo, the four major exchanges. Their timing really matters. Why? You can sometimes make money if you understand this. Excuse me. If you understand, the session, when they open, when they close, and what happens. If you understand that, you can make a lot of money. Now, you guys all probably heard the term America pumps, Asia dumps. What does that mean? That means Americans, although we only hold 40% of the BTC, I want to be very clear, in US, 40% of BTC exists. The rest is other part of the world, right? But the pockets are deeper and bigger. Our pockets are much deeper and bigger. Our trade size is much bigger and bigger than Asians, right? So when America pumps, Asia dumps. So one of the things I learned with sessions is, let's say US timing 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, Asian timing when Asia opens, it's 5 a.m. in New York, right? And they close at 3 p.m., for example, right? What did I learn? I learned that I can just in 9, I can get up at 7, do my research 7:38, and before they open 9, I take my long position and it will go up. Now that's depending on fundamentals, what happened night before, right? On Sunday, usually, if it's all red, what's going to happen when New York opens up? It's going to be red. People are going to be selling. And then afternoon, after lunchtime, it starts going up. So you have to learn these patterns in session. You can make a lot of money, 15, 20, 30% just on this. If you stay up late, like sometimes I trade late because I told you I do 24 hours, so I don't really have to be anywhere. And what I'll do is I'll wait for this and I will do my short. That's it. The minute they open up, I do my short and take all the profit. So you have to understand that. You have to master that. Now I'm going to show you. Some of you are probably thinking, no, that's not possible. Here, notice this. I circled this. A lot of people do not know this. 40% of Bitcoin. That's it. That's how much is in the US. The 60% is in the rest of the world. Now let me prove to you on the theory that I just presented. So this is on 15th March, very recent, 2024. It's taken from TradingView, BTC and USD pair. Look at this. Look at the time here. So New York's already closed, right? And look at the price going up. When I say close, I don't mean retail investors. Every time when I talk about sessions, I'm talking about huge funds. I'm talking about the institutional investor. I'm talking about BlackRock, likes of those big companies. They don't work at 7:30. They close at 4, 4:30, 5. They don't work at 21. They don't work at 19. They don't work at 9. Look at the price going up. Guys, this is the other part of the world. The time difference as other places open up and the money starts coming in. Look, price going up, right? Now, let's look at shorts. Look at the time here. And it's dumping. Who is selling? Institutional investors are closed. They're home. They're with their family. They're in bed. They've taken their nightcap. They've gone to bed. Who are these guys? The other part of the world. So please do not ignore that. If you understand this and you learn these patterns, you just took a short here. Look at the profits here. And it keeps going down. So it's not just, one, it will go up and keep going down. So sessions are very important and devoted the whole chapter to it, where you understand everything, how to open your position, how to make money. And this is what I called easy money, because you just open position, that's it. And you wait for it to either go up or go down. Holidays as well. Something I learned holidays. A lot of people pull out money before the holidays. So a lot of coins are red. There's a lot of shorts. There is no point doing longs right before the holiday, right before Thanksgiving. There's no point getting into longs. If you can make more money doing shorts, do shorts. The purpose is to make money, right? So once you understand all that, you understand the weak points where to make money. All right, guys, ready for this? This is a test. I want all of you to grab your pen and paper, as we asked earlier to have that, right? And you go through these questions. There are 4 questions on there. We want to know if you're fit for trading crypto, for the crypto trading program. So go ahead. The first one, is it yes or no? And you give yourself a number. Don't say yes or no. No is 1, yes is 0. So go ahead. I'll leave you guys here for about a minute, and then we'll move forward. Okay, we all done? I'll give you another 40 seconds. So remember, you're putting numbers. You're not putting yes or no. Yes is 0. No is one. So you put numbers in front of them. All right, that's plenty of time. Okay, so let's go to the numbers here. Now, if you scored anywhere from 0 to 1, crypto trading is not for you. As much as I'd love to have your money, but I don't want to. Because the reason is this test is designed to understand, are you fit for it now? If you're not fit for it, I don't want you in the program. You're going to lose money. You're going to be miserable. You're going to give, you're going to get angry. You're going to give me bad reviews because of your bad habits. I don't want that. Please, you can take your business elsewhere. Not welcome here. Number two, if you got 2 points, you're trainable. There's hope for you. We can do something with you. If you got three, you have potential to make money. You're ideal candidate. And if you got four, you're the, perfect candidate for this. All right. So that was the test. All right, let's go to the next one real quickly. Q&A. Really easy. If you have no experience, yes. Basic. If you're novice trader, you're experienced trader. Course is for everyone, regardless. If you work full time, yes, you can work 1 to 2 hours a day. You can work on the weekends. You can trade on the weekends. It's you go in your own pace. So no one stops you, no one pushes you. You take your own time, right? So a lot of questions I get is, I'm too old for crypto. I'm in my 50s or 40s or whatever. They think it's for the kids in the 20s. Your humble trainer is in his 50s. So, and I learned only a few months ago. So I'd say for any age, as long as you have interest and you're interested. All right. Now comes the exciting part. You remember that trade example I showed where we had percentages and there was no money next to it? And you guys were all curious how much money you could make? All right. So here, I'm going to show you different trades. So it all depends on, how much money you put in, what kind of leverage you use. Now you can see from 120x, sometimes I think was 20x, different amount of money. $2,000, $914, $91, $550. But these trades are all completed within between 2 minutes to 15 minutes, maybe maximum 30 minutes. That's it. These are all scalping trades. So that's not bad if you're gonna, if 2 grand in 30 minutes or 25 minutes, it went up to, I'm sorry, the 822 one took a little longer. I think it was around 45 minutes or 50 minutes, but it pumped really hard. It was GLMR. I remember that. My eyes were really popping out when I seen it go up. And they represent really good with this rocket. So anyway, this is just to show you various different amount, whatever your goals are, whatever you want to make. And I have probably multiple of these trades in a day. So not just one, multiple, because you know what a coin does, goes up and down, up and down. That's what it does all day long, right? And there's over 2,000 coins. Depending on which exchange you go to, exchange you're going to find, probably at MEXC, they have close to, I think, 700 or 1,000 coins. Okay. Interesting part. How to get funding for trade. Now, understand, remember I tell you about this before? I mentioned this, that if you don't have money, so we provide solutions. Once you become a good trader, you experienced trader, because remember, there is exam to pass, there is test, there's two phase sometimes, some places are one phase. But then you get funded account and you can trade, right? So this way you have no worries. You don't have to worry about taking in family money, emergency money. You don't have to worry about all that because it's not easy. I know I've been there. It's not easy. It's you take that $1,000 and then you've got bills to pay. Your wife's got dentist appointment, or you got to meet up with the attorney, and the attorneys in New York, right? They're pretty much slaughterhouse, right? They kill you. So you don't have to tap into all that. Now you become experienced trader. You're working. and you're doing a profit split. I have no problem giving 20% to someone who's letting me trade with 100 grand. This is how much money I can make with that. And we give you, we research the whole module is based on prop. It's called prop trading, by the way. And you can Google that. The best firms, because there's a lot of problem with new firms. They're not regulated. They cheat. They cheat on slippage, on the spread. By the way, if you don't know what slippage and spread is, you're going to learn everything. Everything's explained in the video. So anyway, they cheat. So, and some of them are not open to U.S. residents because of SEC forcing them for financial disclosures, or sometimes SEC forcing them because they're cheating American citizens, right? So we do all the research and we give you the firms that are open for Americans where you can start, you can do the phase, teach you how to take the phases. I've taken multiple. The most recent one, so no one can say, "Oh, you took this a year ago, man. Things have changed. Now it's much tougher," right? I know troll's going to be troll, right? So for that, look at the date on this. 2024 03 08. This is my most recent. And if you notice, it says past phase 2. There are 2 phases. I passed the first one, then I passed the second one, right? And just to give you an idea on a size of account, there's various different account sizes. So this is not just me and I think 3 of my students, right? So you can see 12,000 profit. That was on a $100,000 account. Now you can see 683 profit, 543. I think that was on 5,000 or $10,000 account. So there's different size accounts that you can qualify. You have to pay a certain amount for the test, and then you can trade with that amount. But again, not my money at risk, not a single dime at risk. It's my effort, my work, and I get to share with them. They keep 20%. They send me the balance 80%. So this is one of the benefits of trading for prop firms. Okay, if I got you interested, you can use the QR code, and you can copy the email and the WhatsApp text message, and hopefully we can get you started. All right, guys, stay on because very soon we're going to go to bonus. Bonus means I'm giving you the coins which I feel are poised to go 100x, 1000x, right? All right, number 6, crypto staking rewards and drop. So for this, the best suited guy is, remember this, my team, remember Jason? That's the guy who covers the staking rewards and airdrops, where you put in money and you just stake and you get money. Not only you get rewards for that, you also get airdrops, which you can sell for cash. And some people make a couple $1,000s from that, $1,200 from that, depending on which airdrops. But Jason covers that in detail. Okay, so what do you think? You ready to start? No, not yet. All right, let me just cover the bonus first. Let me go to the bonus. This is what most of you have been waiting for. You want some free, it's totally free information. But guys, I want to say this. This is not financial advice. This is what I feel through my research, through my friends, through my trader friends. We have a huge network. We understand where coins are going. But again, I do not have a crystal ball. So be careful. Do your research as well. All right. So these are my prediction for 2024. I'm going to go into the 3 narrative, very, very popular, which is gaming, AI, and DeFi, right? So decentralized finance, DeFi, AI, gaming. For gaming and AKA, you can take a picture, you can take a screenshot, whatever you want. You can save this for future. IMX, very, very bullish on this. Render. For AI, you have FET, AGIX, VRA, TAO. Very bullish. Same thing with decentralized finance, Corium, XTC, and Quant. Now, I don't know if they're going to go 1,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100, whatever, but they're going to go. They've already gone up. They're still going. Now, one of the questions I get asked a lot is, How much money should I put in, right? And it's kind of, it depends on you. But I'm going to cover something here. I'm going to explain something so it makes it a little bit easier. Again, not financial advice, for educational purpose only. I feel if you earn less than 2,000 a month, throw in $10 in each coin. $10. Yeah. Throw in $10 in each coin. Nothing works out. All of them flop. What do you out of? $100. But you know what? That's not going to happen. Even if one goes to 100x, guess how much money you make, right? 10K is not bad, right? So this is why don't stick with one coin. That's why I gave you a list of them, and you can go 10. Now, if you make above 3,000 a month, this is per month, right? US dollars. Guys, I know that I have students from all over the world and everything, but I'm talking about, I'm very much in US dollars, right? So it's 3,000 a month. Then, you can throw in $20 in each coin. You're out of pocket 200. One or two coin hits, you made a ton of money. You make above 5,000, throw in 50. You're out of pocket 500. Your income's above 8,000, throw in $100 in each coin. You're out of pocket 1,000. Or as you feel comfortable with your income. This is just a guideline I gave. This is my personal opinion. It's not, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a broker. I'm not a registered broker. This is just my opinion, and I wanted to play it safe. I'm just going to give you an example of myself. Last year, there's a coin called JIM, JIM. You could Google it. And I think it was around June, I threw in $25 in one of them. I was just at that point, I was learning and everything, and someone said, this coin is AI, it's going to go up or whatever. I threw in 20 or 20, I can't remember, $20 or $25. And then I totally forgot about it. Checked my wallet one day, and there was like $400 in there. And I quickly called my wife, like, get ready, taking you out for dinner. She's like, where? I'm like, well, pick a place. I mean, something reasonable, not Taco Bell, something better than Taco Bell. I'll take you. So, $400. I cashed out, but I left that $25 in there. And then a month or two, and then it went down. And 2 months later, again, it was at 280 or 290. I cashed out again, left the 20 in there. And recently, with the prices going up, it's up again. So, when it reaches a certain number, I'll cash out. So $20, I've cashed out over $400 or $500 from that. And you never know. It's not even made it to an exchange yet. So what happened with these coins are, so they go on these small exchanges at first. And then once they, get some traction, they get in the media, then they get into listed on Binance or Mexi, and that's where they shoot up. And if you hold some of that coin, and then they go into these exchanges, they go 1,000x, sometimes overnight. Overnight. There's stories you can Google. Guy puts in like $500 in a coin, and it makes $900,000. But again, these are one-off stories. You shouldn't count on that. But out of your $100, it is easy to make $5,000, $10,000, $50,000. If it's the right coin and it goes up, not a problem at all. Now there is another narrative which is coming up. Now we cover that in our course. It's called DPIN, Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks. It is hot right now. The coins that are coming in this are hot. So they cover cloud storage, wireless, energy, sensor networks. That's the new narrative. And usually with crypto, something new like AI has been going crazy. Something new, people love it. So we cover there's a whole chapter. We go over, review various different coins that you can invest in, and you got plenty of time. All right, now we're going to try to close it as soon as possible because it's already 1 hour, 39 minutes. All right, normally for courses like this, they charge a lot, but we understand where you come from. We've been there. We understand you guys want to make money. And our courses are nothing like this. What do you get out of this? You will get professionally and very, very specifically designed indicators. They're designed for crypto because crypto is very volatile. Guys, remember one thing. They can work for anything else. You do S&P, do Forex, you can do anything else. I don't feel that anything made for them would be equally for crypto because crypto is very volatile. You go on S&P, it doesn't even move sometimes. You have to wait hours and hours. In crypto, you're bottom of the chart. Within 2 minutes, you've climbed to the top. That's crypto, right? So the indicators are designed for crypto, would work with anything else. It'd be walking apart, but they're designed for crypto. So you get that. You get access to all the updates, all the materials. If we launch signals, you get that. There's mentorship, there's coaching, everything, right? And we might even start doing face to face, different, I would say, master classes in the future. So you'll be accessing at a discount. You get all that, plus you get a huge community of like-minded people. Imagine, learning from them, learning from people like you. I mean, all the master, the experts are there, but you also get everyone else. So this aspiring community of experience, and aspiring traders, you make friends all over the world. That's all part of that. What does it cost you? Well, 549 is the payment for one-time fee. If you just make one payment, 549, everything's inclusive in that. Or you could make four payments if you feel that 549 is not something that you could, spare. We get it. You can make four payments of 199, right? 199.95. Four payments, and you get everything else, updates and everything. But I want to explain something to you. We've done something special. You see the yearly fee? No longer. For this special, people that join the webinar spend this time to learn. If they feel they want to join this, it's not yearly fee anymore. It is for them, it is lifetime. So that's it. You pay that amount, you're a member for life. Everything else, all the updates, all the things about new gems, all the information, everything comes to you totally free. Totally free. There's no cost to you. Again, it's a one payment. If you just don't want to worry about recurring payments and all that, one payment, and it's much less. It's $549.99, and you're done with it. Four payments, it's $199.95, and you'll be billed monthly. You can cancel anytime if you didn't like it. You can cancel that. Obviously, the payment that you made was not going to be refunded, but no future payments will be charged. Okay. I hope that it was very informative for you. You learn a lot from this about cryptocurrency, how to make money. And again, before I close, I just want to say very quickly that you have to understand it is a risky investment, so never risk money that you need. Always have something which is you have a little bit of saving that you can spare, you can try it with, you can trade with, even though you want to make money. We all want to do that, but you just do not know. It is a new industry. It is volatile. Trading itself is very volatile, but crypto is. Yes, it has made millionaires and billionaires, but then again, it has also wrecked hundreds of people that you don't hear about because everyone's shy. When someone loses money, people are not very, it's not really uplifting. So it's not something to talk about. It's embarrassing. You're not going to go and say, hey, I lost $1,000, lost $2,000. When they make money, they go brag a lot. I made 10 grand, 20 grand. It's human nature. So just because you don't hear about it doesn't mean it didn't happen. I come from this field. I have seen guys getting 50 grand wiped out within the course of 5 minutes. And then they come to me and they're telling me, they don't want to learn everything. They want to do it on their own. They wanted to watch YouTube videos and do it. Well, I'm not knocking them down or anything or knocking the videos down. Yes, but understand that watching 100 videos is not going to make you a perfect trader because everyone has their own style. And eventually, after you learn all this, you're going to develop your own style as well. So you can't just go pick and choose like, you let's say you're in construction business, you're making a building. You can't just, first of all, you need a solid foundation before you can build floors. And once you do that, you get that solid foundation. That's what the course gives you. And then you can build, you can design how tall you want your building to go.
But you can't just pick and choose a floor from a different building. It looks nice. I'm going to pick one floor from there, one from now. It has to be according to the foundation that you based. So that's why I don't want people picking and choosing, and they lose money because of that. Pretty much they end up gambling. So we don't want that. We want you to understand trading. And again, we mentioned there's a safe part where you do spot, where you invest in gems and you just forget about it. You work all day, all night, weekend, whatever, you don't have to worry about trading. And then when you have time, so let's say you have $100, I'd break it down to 75% would go into spot, 25 into leverage trading. And the profit that you make from leverage trading, put that into spot and then do leverage trading. That would be the smart way of doing it. So again, folks, you take the course, you don't take the course, it doesn't matter. You trade, be very careful. Make sure you never risk your last, you got a last $100 in the bank, $1,000 in the bank. Do not risk that. Go get a job, earn a couple thousand, earn 4,000, put the emergency fund to the side, and then risk that. This is my advice. And I will always be, straightforward and honest about things because I want you to make money. This is something which has given me an amazing, amazing lifestyle. And this is all learning on my own, developing the system, risking, spending time. But at the end of the day, I still have my freedom. I work from home. I enjoy my life with my family. I get to travel a lot and I enjoy it. And it's the same for you. Again, you're not going to make millions and billions overnight. It's going to take time. So stop thinking like that. That's where you get wrecked when you have that kind of thought. Oh, I want $1 million overnight. No, it's going to take time. You have to understand the game. Once you understand this game, you're going to be the best player ever. All right, so we're going to end this with please QR code, and you can go to the website directly. You can message, you can email. With that, thank you for your time. Really appreciate. And I just could not answer questions because there's so many people on there, and I wanted to cover everything. Although I went over some time, went over 47 minutes, but I wanted to cover everything in detail. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learn a lot. That was the main thing, that you learn a lot. And I wish and pray that every one of you is successful, you become financially independent, and you get out of the rat race. This rat race that we live in. I'm talking about North America right now. I'm not talking about other part of the world. I'm here in North America. I'm talking about North America. This rat race that we live in. 9 to 5, work for someone. We all have it in us to do something so we can get out of this and we can become financially independent. And we can work for ourselves instead of making some other guy rich. Make yourself rich. We all can do that. And trading, especially with this crypto market, is just an amazing opportunity if done properly. An investment that cost you $550, anywhere you go for education, you have to pay minimum any course 5 to 10 grand, 20 grand. This is nothing. It's a drop in a bucket. For what do you get? Eight modules. Each module is loaded with 6 to 8 chapters, and then ongoing, and designed so easy to understand that a middle school kid could understand everything. So, I think it's a no-brainer. Again, that's my personal opinion and not financial advice. It's a no-brainer, and if you want to take that step forward, I'd be more than happy. My team would be more than happy to partner with you. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate, and hope to speak to you very soon. Bye bye now.